Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In today's video, I'll be going over the Fi'l Mudhari table. So we've covered the Fi'l Madi table before when we went through the words like fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alana, that table. So sisters, if you've managed to learn this, which you should have done by now, because there's literally a few days left now until the exams, then learning this next one will become easier because it pretty much follows the same pattern. The only difference is the other one was the past tense verb, and this is the present and future tense verb, and it's the active and affirmative table. So it's the جدول الفعل المضارع المعروف المثبت table. So معروف refers to active, and مثبت is the positivity of an action taking place. So it's the affirmative table. So this table, notice the words, there is a few repetitions. So this is like perhaps in that sense it's going to be easier to learn if you've not learned it already. So first I'll just go through the words and then I'll explain what they are. So you have يفعل, يفعلان, يفعلون, تفعل, تفعلان, يفعلن, تفعل, تفعلان, تفعلون, تفعلين, تفعلان, تفعلن, أفعل, and نفعل. And these words mean he is doing, is going to do. They are both doing, are going to do. They are all doing, going to do. So it follows the same pattern as we've done. And so the translation, the tarjama, the sigha, and the fi'l, it follows the same pattern. So whereas the fi'l table, we were talking about the past. So, like he did, they both did, they all did. Whereas here, it's he is doing, they are both doing, they are all doing. And because it refers to the present and future tense, so this is why we have he is doing, is going to do. So he's either doing it in the present, he's doing it as in doing it now, or he's going to do it in the later future. So that's how it's referring to. So like going through the words, she is doing, going to do, they are both doing, going to do, they are all doing, going to do, you are both doing, going to do, you are both doing, going to do, you are all doing, going to do, you are doing, going to do, you are both doing, going to do, you are all doing. So it's the first it's the masculine 3, and then it's the feminine 3. I am doing, going to do, we are doing, going to do. So here, like, it just follows exactly the same pattern. So if you look, singular, dual, plural, singular, dual, plural, singular, dual, plural, singular, dual, plural, and then singular, and the last one is dual and plural. If you learn that pattern, so when you're writing it in the exams, because Appa said these tables will definitely come up, you can just write it as S for singular, D for dual, and P for plural. And then when you're writing it, whether it's like in third person or second person, first person, so if you just put 3P down, so notice the pattern here. You've got the first 6 you have third person, the second 6 is second person, and the last 2 are first person. So even if you learn the words and then just put it in like systematic order, if you don't know, like if from the top of your head, like for example, if you had the word taf'aluna and you weren't sure what it was, what you could do is, if you'd write it in the systematic order, then you'd be able to figure it out from, putting singular, dual, plural, singular, dual, plural, singular, dual, plural, singular, dual, plural, and then you'd be like, oh yeah, it's actually plural. So in that way, you would be able to quickly figure it out. So then again, you could put like M for masculine and F for feminine, like Appa was saying. So what the pattern is, the first 3 are masculine, the second 3 are feminine, then followed by 3 masculine, 3 feminine, and then the bottom are both, so masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine. So this is how you will write it in for the exam. So it follows the same pattern. The only difference is that we will be given a word we don't know. Like, say for example, we might be given fa'ala and we'll be told to do this table. We might be given dwaraba and say do this table. So if it was dwaraba, you know, like how we've done the triliteral verbs, so dwaraba would be yadribu. If it was nasara, nasara would be nasara yansuru. If it was samia, samia yasma'u. If it was karuma, so it'd be karuma yakrumu. If it was hasiba, it'd be hasiba yahsibu. So these were the 6 triliteral verbs that we had to learn. So depending on what table it fall under, this is how it would the verb would change. So we need to learn these and look at the pattern. So first of all, like for example, you've got, you know, the singular person, the singular one. So you've got like yaf'alu, taf'alu, taf'alu, and then you've got af'alu, and then you've got like these words. So they all follow a pattern. You can pick that out and kind of familiarize yourself and make a pattern so that you can learn it. Then you've got the dual ones, yaf'alani. You've got taf'alani. Then you've got here again taf'alani, and you've got taf'alani here. So you realize that the endings ani. Here you've got ani. Here you've got ani. Here you've got ani, and they're all dual. So when you've got ani, you know straight away it's going to be a word which is in a dual form. It comes where the word form is a dual form. So yeah, so if you look for these patterns, then it's easier to know which one, where which one belongs to. But if you find it difficult, then I suggest that just to learn 3 at a time. So remember 3, 3, 3. So yaf'alu, yaf'alani, yaf'aluna, that's 3. Then taf'alu, taf'alani, yaf'alana, that's 3. Taf'alu, taf'alani, taf'aluna, that's another 3. Taf'alina, taf'alani, taf'alana, that's another 3. And af'alu and naf'alu. So I found this method worked best for me. And then when I'm kind of reading through it in my mind, I visualize it in 3s, and that's how I've pretty much learned it. So then I find that in that way it's less confusing. So this is the Jadwal al-Fi'l al-Mudhari al-Ma'ruf al-Musbat table, and this is the present and the future tense verb, active, affirmative, the positivity of an action taking place. So when it's like negative, like when there is no action taking place, so then it will be the Jadwal al-Fi'l al-Mudhari al-Ma'ruf al-Manfi table. So manfi, nafi, manfi refers to negativity of an action, the where an action doesn't take place. So I've not had the chance to write this, so I've just literally just showing you in the book. So he's not doing, going to do. They are both not doing, going to do. They are all not doing, going to do. She is not doing, going to do. They are both not doing, going to do, and so on and so forth. And the difference is that on the manfi table, everything remains the same, but you've just got a la in front of it. So you've got the letter lam alif in front of it, which is pronounced as la. So you've got la yaf'alu, la yaf'alani, la yaf'aluna, la taf'alu, la taf'alani, la taf'alana. And this is how it continues on. Notice the difference is that in the fi'l al-madi table that we did previously, when an action is in the when the action is negative, it's manfi, then we attach a ma to it. So it was like ma fa'ala, ma fa'ala, ma fa'alu, ma fa'alat. But here we have the letter lam alif attached to it. So notice that another rule to remember is the fi'l al-mudhari table will never have a meme coming in front of it. It's always going to be a la to mean the action is not happening. So he's not going to do, he's not doing or going to do. So just an important point to remember. And then the fi'l al-majhul table. So the majhul table is like when the doer is not unknown, so the is done upon. So we know that the action is done upon, but we don't know who the doer is. So the table is called Jadwal al-Fi'l al-Mudari al-Majhul al-Musbat. So when it's Majhul al-Musbat table, it's, we say it as he is being, will be helped. They both are being, will be helped. They are all being, will be helped. So this is the pattern that is occurring here. And so we have the word yunswaru, yunswarani, yunsaruna, tunsaru, tunsorani, yunswarna, and it continues on. So what happens? What is the transformation from the ma'ruf to the majhul? How do the letters change? When you look at the word what we had before, it was yaf'alu, and now so the word say we had like yaf'alu, and now we have yunswaru. We're using different verbs here. What happens is the first letter, it receives a dhamma, and then the second to last letter here of any verb is going to have it be in a state of maftuh. So it's going to be in a fatha state. So this is the thing to remember. So the first verb what we had was yaf'alu. So yaf'alu, if we use that, it should read as yuf'alu. So and the nasara would have been, if it was the ma'ruf table, it would have been nasara yansuru. So it would have been yansuru, and then in the majhul table it's yunswaru. So for example, another verb, if we had dwaraba, so in the dwaraba would be yadribu in the ma'ruf table, and in the majhul table it'd be yadrabu. So these are the patterns to look out for. And if go back to the triliteral verbs and learn how, so we've got like 6 where we had to learn how it'd be transformed. So make sure that you do know, because you may be given a verb and then you'll have to find out how it changes into the mudari, from a madi, how it changes into the mudari. So then once you've done the first one, then you just follow the pattern, how it goes down the pattern. So you'd have like there'd be like a dhamma on the last letter on the first one, and then you've got ani on the second one, una on the third one, and then you've got a dhamma again, ani on the third one, and then a fatha on the fourth one. So you'd follow that pattern, but the only thing that you'd be changing would be the verbs. So yeah, that was the Mudhari table that we've done, and we need to learn. So we've got the musbat table, and we've got the musbat table to learn and the manfi table to learn, and we have to learn it for the present and future verb. So we have to learn it for the active affirmative and active negative. So in total we're going to be learning it for 4 tables. So for example, here you've got yunswaru, and which is the passive affirmative. Well, so if this was the passive negative table, all that would change is you'd have meme. Sorry, I'm saying meme. Meme is only for the Madi table. I meant lam. Lam. So the letter lam alif will be here. So it read la yunswaru, la yunswarani, la yunswaruna, la tunsaru, la tunsorani, la yunsarna, and so on and so forth. So this is how it will change. So sisters, we need to learn the difference. So we need to learn basically we're just going to be learning the fi'l al-madi and fi'l al-mudari table. So that's 2 tables, and once we know how that is how the verbs are transformed from one verb to another, then we're only changing, like when it goes to negative, the only thing is changing is just one letter at the front. So for the fi'l al-madi, like I've just explained, it'd be ma at the front, mim alif zabar ma, so mim alif fatha ma. And for this table, you're just going to have a lam alif at the front, so it's going to read as la. The first one, la yunsfaru, as I've explained. So this is just the change, and then the only thing to look out for is ma'ruf to majhul, the transformation. So the fa'ala will change into fa'ila, and then yaf'alu will change into yuf'alu. So that is the pattern, and I explained. I'll just repeat myself that what happens is the first letter will be in a state of dhamma. It'll change into a dhamma state, and the second to last letter will be in a state of fatha. For verbs, you don't use the word so it's in a state of fatha, so we use the word maftuhun, so it changes into fatha. So for words, you use the word maftuhun, and when it changes into a dhamma, we use the word madmumun, I think it was. So that is just summarizing the tables, and inshallah, sisters, continue on learning, and inshallah the exams are just around the corner, and inshallah everyone will do well and pass with flying colors. I will see you after the exams with my new videos, inshallah. So happy learning, and take care everyone. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.